Welcome back. Welcome back. Come on in the room.
Come on. In the
Come on in the room. Take your seat and get ready.
this week. Hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey. Hey. Hey.
Stop trying to be like
That my part. That my part. Hey.
That my part.
That your
Hey,
part?
girl.
Hey, girl.
Oh,
Hey.
that my part. That my part.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's your
girl.
part. Let's do it again. Hey.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
How
Grace.
you
I'm
doing?
doing.
How's your week been?
Grand.
Grand.
Yes.
Why it been so grand?
Took some time off to enjoy myself in life. Uh, yes. So we're recording from a new device. So please excuse the IV cam because I didn't sign in to my account. We had to hurry up and get up on here and talk to you folk uh, about the goings ons of today. How was your week? How you been?
My week has been awesomely awesome.
Okay.
Is it covering me up?
A little bit. It's all
Oh,
good. Look, we're
sorry,
just making some
sorry.
slight adjustments.
Right. New devices, new technology.
Facts.
Okay. So, but yeah, it's been great. It's been grand. It's been full of high.
Highs and
It's been
highs.
and highs.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't do lows around here.
Okay.
So, yeah, have me a good spirit filled weekend.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So, seems like we got a lot on the damn agenda today to talk
Just a
about.
tad, just a
Just a
tad.
tad. And, as we were saying last week, um, we wanted to go ahead and talk about the new age of spirituality, the movement. Um, it's just been a lot. And going into um kind of decoding a little bit of what's going on in the political arena because we're literally days away from a new figurehead being in office. As well as talk about some other things that are going on in the community and culturally. So, again, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Y'all remember that?
Hey,
Y'all remember that?
work,
Some of y'all
work,
might be too
work.
young. So,
That's my
um,
value.
one thing is for certain is that we are in what is called the age of Aquarius. And in the age of Aquarius, there comes enlightenment. There comes the revealing, the apocalypto, and the revelations. And here is partially a lot of the reasons why a lot of say, we're in the end times. Well, the previous times have already ended. We're in a new eon, in a new time frame again, which would be the age of Aquarius. And so with that, we are beginning to see a lot of things that uh, were always there. And because there's a different dynamic, because there's a different system that's coming into place, things are now becoming a bit more acceptable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, a lot of people are starting to get into their crystals and uh, get into in tune with their ancestors and ancient practices and things like that. And I'm all for it. Um, but it's starting to be a lot of, it's almost like a battle going back and forth with people that have religious appreciations and those that are more so expanding into a more spiritual practices or more knowingly ritual based, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's definitely I've been seeing a lot of posts where people is like, yo, it's the same thing. Like you're not really practicing anything different. And I agree and I disagree at the
And
same
why so?
time. and I'm going to say why.
All
So,
right.
um, I agree because you do see mysticism within religious belief systems, within indoctrination.
Okay,
And
before you continue,
mhm,
let's put a pin right there.
okay,
Define mysticism and indoctrination.
well, they can get a dictionary and look that. No, I'm just kidding. So when it comes to mysticism, more so of magical matters,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. And it's seen that only certain persons, when it comes to religious indoctrinations, have a certain set of power. So the high priest or the high priestess, or the bishop, these people are the ones that were able to go before the gods,
The gods.
or
Okay.
going into the holies of holies in places like this. And those that were considered lay or regular people were giving the exoteric or the outer shell of spiritual practices or ritualistic practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to a lot of different indoctrinated religions, you have to do certain rituals and you have to perform certain rites to be a part of that particular indoctrination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, even when it comes with Christianity, um it's a okay, you have to be born again, and then there's the utterance of the tongues, and then there's being baptized, and there's all of these different rituals, right,
Mm-hmm.
that must take place in order for you to become indoctrinated within this system. Well, it's the same when it comes to um different spiritual practices. I'm seeing a lot of people that are starting to look, and more melanated people that are starting to look into more occultic or even African spiritual practices. And when I say occultic, people's like, oh my God, no, occultic simply means hidden, right? So it's a lot of people that are getting more involved in the hidden arts
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to understand that. And it's like, it's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, people are not researching, and it's
They're
getting.
they're not using the the number one thing, and this is the best thing about
It's
people
wrong to smoke online.
who, no, everybody smoke online. Anyway, excuse our, you know.
Yeah,
But the thing is, this is why
because this one of them
journalists,
topics.
yeah, this is why journalists have a different worldview
Mm-hmm.
than other people,
Mm-hmm.
because the number one thing you're taught in journalism is never rely on anyone's information but yours,
Facts.
which means research. Don't rely on anybody else's research but your own.
Exactly.
Because a lot of the times, a post I just saw yesterday was talking about ancestor this and ancestor that and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
but you're mixing in ancestors, you're mixing in Jesus Christ, and you're mixing in, you know, this particular person was like on her Oshun type stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, boo, hold on, because
And here's
all
my
this
thing
don't go
with that.
together.
When it comes to, and I respect and mad respect, because I actually know some people that have gone through the process of being initiated into the Yoruba culture or the Ifa culture, or system. And you have a lot of people that's running around that's like, oh, I'm a child of Oshun, I'm a child of Oya, I follow this and I follow that. And a person that is actually a part of IFA can ask you, well, what Baba initiated you? When did you take your trip here? When did you do this? But because it's become so culturally dominated, when you have certain icons that come out and they perform certain rituals on stage.
One very famous icon.
And it's and here's the thing, Beyonce has definitely, and I'll say her name, she's definitely shown true Oshun energy. And the reason
However,
how she's done that is because she started with the whole lemonade thing, and then it was the birth of the twins. And when you understand the inner dynamics of who Oshun is, and with Oya, and how Oya was more so of the one that birthed the twins, and the whole sister energy. Then you get her and Solange's energy, right? And then you begin to understand the full dynamic, and you understand how Jay Z comes in with the 444, and you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at people that are practicing occultic knowledge on a higher frequency, right? And so I can remember about 10 years ago, if not less, where that was Illuminati,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now it's like
Those are your
them
ancestors.
your ancestors, and you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, well, oh she's doing that, she's in her Oshun energy, oh she's in her Kali energy. So what my purpose in saying that is, you're seeing the shift in consciousness, right? Because as your consciousness shifts, it's becoming more open or it's becoming more closed off, which is why you're seeing some of the old kings and the old queens are being moved out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is coming in a new ushering of a new system, of a new mysticism, of a new esoteric energy. So with that being said, you're seeing, and when I say the old kings and queens, let me break it down, the old systems of belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our grandmothers, our great grandmothers and things like that, it's difficult for us to come and present to them, well, Nana, you need to sleep with amethyst under your pillow. Or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so still in all, they have different what we call old wives' tales,
Mm-hmm.
or there's different home remedies that have been passed down through our generation and through our lineage. And they, oh, well, the old folks used to put a little turpentine and da 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 da. And see, these are things that we still need to be practicing, these home remedies and things like that. But when it comes to that good old time religion, you have to be very mindful,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be very careful with giving our old kings and queens the keys or access to certain realm information. And the reason why I say that is it's just like me taking a hot glass of water and placing it into the freezer. What's going to happen?
The glass is gonna break.
It's going to break, right? And so whatever you had in place is now shattered with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to the those individuals that are choosing to walk away from systems of indoctrination, it's almost like they have to prove to Christians or to Muslims or to whatever doctrine that a person follows, that, oh, you're doing rituals too. Oh well, this is, and it's nothing wrong with letting them know, but it's the approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to religion, is simply, religion has become a party, like Republican and Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and it's not to
I'm
say
a
that
part of
you,
this party. I'm a
right,
part of
I'm
that
a
party.
oh well, I'm a Christian, but I'm a Baptist Christian, or I'm a
I'm
Methodist, I'm
Pentecostal.
Pentecostal,
I'm this.
right?
I'm that. Yeah.
Or I'm
I'm
COGIC.
Catholic.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
Catholic. I'm agnostic. I'm these. I'm this. I'm this. So you have all of these different factions and all of this division within a system that is said, that's supposed to bring people together. That is
Mm-hmm.
to mend. And that's not what we see. And so because of that, and because there are so many different factions that are broken off from one original system, it's like, well, you're not right, I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're starting to see the same thing when it comes to new age, and that's what I'm calling it, new age spirituality, because you have the crystal wearing, incense burning, sage toting, you know what I'm saying, all of these different things. And you can ask that same person, well, what kind of sage are you burning for what situation, and what environment is it in, right? What season,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what is the purpose of you doing this? Oh, I'm cleaning the bad energy. So what type of sage are you using to do that? Because some usher spirits in, while there's others that banish and do things like that.
Okay,
So
so say that again one more time.
I,
And emphasize which
I
herb
not,
you are talking
with sage.
about. Okay.
With sage, depending on what kind of sage that you get, it can usher in spirits or it can banish spirits. And I'm saying that a lot of people aren't doing that specific research because it's kind
Mhm.
of just looking into uh, smudging and then they see sage. And then they're going and buying sage. So once you have, understand that once you place money, which is a frequency, it's a currency, money is an energy, and money cannot stay in one place.
Mhm.
And when you
It has to
begin
move
to, it has
around.
to move around. So when you begin to put your energy into that currency, and that currency becomes a conduit for your spiritual manifestations, you're doing the same thing that indoctrinated churches have been doing for centuries,
Mhm.
because you're going and paying a high priestess or a high priest. And understand, I'm not knocking any healers, and
You can't knock a healer.
I'm not knocking any true metaphysicians,
You can't
right?
because they live in what they do.
Because they're living what they do. And so what I knock is the people that don't go and then teach the craft, or the ones that constantly keep an influx of these people coming back for their specific tonics, tinctures,
Toxic, yes. For
and
their specific
for
dose
their
of
for
toxic.
well, and it's not just them coming for their specific dose of toxic. It's because they feel these are the thing. This is my guru. This is now my healer. This is now my saint, in a sense. And we glorify and edify people because of the knowledge that they hold, because of um, what we may see them do, how we see them operate, the things that they say, you know. And so I made a post not too long ago, and I was like, damn, is there a school for tarot card readers? Because it seems like people are going straight from toxic to tarot. And it's like,
Hmm.
and then you have people that's sitting up here and you're doing readings for yourself, and then you're doing readings for other people when you haven't, half of them haven't even studied the dark arcana,
Do they even know what that is?
and probably don't. And I'll even
Okay.
go, I'll even pull out my shoulder and say, I guarantee you, 2/3 of them don't even know what the dark arcana are, and or the dark zodiac or anything of this nature. Because when it comes to astrology and tarot and numerology and things like this, not only do you have to see the light, you have to see the dark as well. And in my almost 2 decades of studying, I've learned that you cannot study the light without the dark. And so, you know, it's just amazing to me that it is amazing. Um, Even when it comes to spiritual alignment and reconditioning, people are still culturally broken,
Hmm.
and they're still searching outside of themselves for inner value, right?
Hmm.
And I'll tell you right now, a true healer is going to, they get benefited in other ways, especially when it's placed upon you. This person needs this, and this person needs that. The universe opens up doors. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? I've given people herbs. I've cleansed people's stones. You know what I'm saying? I've removed shit off of people and not charged them one dime, because I'm not a prophet. And if you need help and you need me to be that light bearer, to be that vessel, who am I to put a price on the gift that I've been given? You see what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful, and I think we have to be very mindful about the things that we initiate ourselves into. And it's the same, it kind of goes into the same with the political and arena. But I'm gonna pause for a second because I think we need to pay some bills.
Just a couple.
Just a couple bills, and I
All
feel like I'm
right.
dominating the conversation as well.
No, you know me. When we get to talking about spirituality, I just listen and I learn because, my study has definitely not been as long as yours.
Right.
So, I listen and I learn and I just took things to the back
Mm-hmm.
because it brings about question.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't question, then how are you ever to learn?
Right.
So that's why I do that. And when we come back from these here bills, I'll get to typing, you'll get to speaking, and then I'll start asking my questions.
Yes.
All
So let's pay
right.
some bills. First up on the list, as always, it is fall and winter. It's time, ladies, to go on over to Black Ego, shopblackego.com. Get your sweaters, get your pants, get your jackets, get your fit. Has
And
your ego been stroked lately? If not, I need you to go over shop with shopblackego.com. This is a black owned business. Shorty is doing her thing. Shout out to Leilani Maiden. Excuse me. I hope I ain't mess up your last name, baby. But you guys make sure you go over and shop with her. Her stuff sells out quick. So
I was just on there yesterday
every time, every time. Also, make sure that you go and support Smooth Move if you have any seniors that need to relocate. Smooth Move is your go to, and they'll help get you from point A to point B. Also, make sure that you check out our family over there at On Blast Radio on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday, you have the Truth Show with the Big Show and Lacey Doll. Also on Saturdays, you have Uncensored with Mello. They doing that thing over there, and I always love seeing people win. So shout out to the Big Show. You guys keep doing your thing over there on Blast. Also, I'm not gonna leave my girl out, my Leo. Okay, she's been doing her damn thing at the Edgewood Marketplace. Shout out to Javonda with Javonda's Kitchen LLC. She got them detoxes, buy 1 week, get 1 week free. Hey, did you hear me? You can get detox, buy one, get 1 week free. It's time for you to go ahead and take control of your physical health, detox that body, and get out those chemicals. Please head over to Javonda's Kitchen LLC for your detox, for your organic juice. I heard she's adding lemonades. Y'all ain't ready for this lady. She also does meal prep, so if you don't want to cook, hit up Chef, and she got you covered. Um, see, that's body, internal body.
too.
So we need to go to the mind, right? Mind
Yeah.
over matter. So, with that being said, have you considered your mental health status lately? Yes? No? Well, if you've been wondering, you want to talk to somebody or want to get a free consultation, please make your way over to Goddess Child Services for your free consultation. If it's not a good fit for you, get a recommendation. If it is, start to get into your balance, your wholeness, and the wellness of yourself. Mental health is total health. So I advise that you go ahead and mosey. I'll be trying not to say mosey because they've been calling me out on saying mosey lately. So make sure you get on over to Goddess Child Services, get an evaluation done. Are you getting married? Have you had a premarital compatibility done? She's that chick. Okay. Go ahead and do that. It's like $100 and something to see your compatibility, see what you need to work on within your relationship. Even if you're not getting married, you've been in a long-term relationship and you're ready to take it to the next level. It's a service that is good for anyone that is in a relationship and wants to see what's the next level to take it to and what do we need to work on that we can't see within our visible light, right? Within our 2D imagery.
And I want to add,
Yes.
we've also taken this test, found out some very interesting things about one another that
Facts.
we actually didn't know, and we really consider ourselves to have a great relationship. I really don't have any issues with her outside of shit that comes things that come up naturally, but it's never like I don't have any issues.
Mm-hmm.
But when we took our compatibility test, I was like, oh wow, for real? You know what I'm saying? So you can always, 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 even if you've been with a person for 5 minutes versus 5 years, you can always learn something new about that person because it's always consistent growth. So, yes, this test, we've also taken it.
Yes.
We haven't taken the marital part yet
Because we
because
ain't
we are not
married
married yet,
yet.
but we have taken the premarital portion, and we did see a couple of areas that we needed to work on and needed to actively discuss to
Facts.
keep our relationship healthy because it's a one and done situation. I ain't trying to, nah,
Ain't trying to skip around.
nah.
Skip around town. But yeah, and also if you're in the LA area, please check out Rays of Sunshine Catering. My cousin is out there doing big things with a chicken wing. We're getting a lot more people we've been shouting out. I think I might have to start charging 50 cents.
Well, my
Where
two
my
quarters.
where my 2 quarters?
Well, my two quarters.
My 5 dimes. Where they at? All right. Also, big shout out to Unique Waterfall, the author of Two Sides to the Rainbow. She has a 3 book series. Is currently at the 3rd book, working on the 4th. Two Sides to the Rainbow is literally what it is. You're seeing both sides of relationships when it comes to lesbian women. All of them are professional and all of them are searching for that essential portion of self. You got some coming out of the closet and some totally running out of it, right? So please make sure that you go and check out Two Sides to the Rainbow. Also, once you're done with that, I ask that if you be so kind, support me and my book, Method to My Madness, Part 1. It is love, lust, murder, betrayal. 5 characters that are going through life. Um, with their businesses, with their relationships. And it's difficult for me to not give the book away, but it's really dope. I will be doing a Q&A soon before book 2 hits. And those are the bills.
Those are the bills.
Those are the bills. Yes.
Yes, yes. Give me a second.
Yeah,
I'm sharing some
take your
stuff.
time. Mm-mm. Oh shit, and the hookah hose,
Hoes,
hose,
hoes, a
hose,
work,
hose.
work,
Hey, see,
I.
they don't shut us down. We say, anyways, for all of your hookah needs, please head over to the hookah hose that's on Facebook. Having a party, want the smoke? They gonna bring it all to you. Um, all of your paraphernalia needs can be met by the hookah hose. If you need the charcoal, you need the tobacco, you need the hose, hit up the hookah hose. All right, just a few bills, just a few bills, giving me chills.
Or the chill.
So again, what we've been talking about is new age spirituality, getting into a little bit of the politics, and when it comes to, I've made sure to limit what I say in regards to politics because I I know that there are a lot of people that definitely have a dog and a pony in this race, and they want to see some change take place um, on a uh, grand scale, and that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. What's also beautiful is going internally and making that grand change happen within your own frequency. So I said I was gonna be doing a little bit of the decoding as far as this political race. And though I didn't go and take a whole bunch of notes, I can still give you some off the top, off the rip things because it's I think that we need to be looking at this not just as um trying to get Trump out of office or trying to get Biden into office or trying to get these people on the courts and things like that, but actually looking at what is taking place on an external level and how it's affecting us internally and those different changes that are taking place. So, like I said, being in the age of Aquarius, you're seeing a lot of things being revealed. And when we look at Trump, we have to look at not only the etymology and not and the figurative and the archetype that he represents. So the trump card is always the joker, right? In every situation. And so when the joker comes out, anything can happen. And so we have literally been seeing any fucking thing happen and any and everything goes in 2020. 2020 is also about vision. And you're seeing a lot of people that have new vision. You're seeing some people that are closing out old chapters that are moving into different arenas. And most of the people within my circle or are within the immediate realms are all experiencing grand shifts, and the grand shift has nothing to do with oh my god, love and light. No, you don't get to that point until you're a couple of years in, right? So what we're
And that's
seeing
only
taking
when you're
place
willing. That's not when
exactly,
you just on your play. Oh, I need to do this.
right,
When you're ready to do the work. I'm
when you're
sorry, I
no
interrupted
facts,
you.
when you're ready to do the work. And so what we're seeing take place is it's a mass ritual, all right? And so when it comes to the election time, and I would implore you to look up the etymology of the word election and vote. So when you're going out to cast, and this is for all my spiritual folks, I'm not talking to anybody that's like, oh, you're going too deep and that's too much. No, I'm going right where it needs to be. So if you're into your work and you do what it is that you do, when you're casting, when you're spell casting or you're enchanting, you're placing your energy into a specific frequency, into a specific race, and saying, I stand for this, right? Now, you have a lot of people that say, oh, it doesn't count, da da da, which I agree. Vote on the local level if you want to see some real change. My opinion, right? So, with that being said, when you're going to cast your vote is literally an energy that you're putting in. It's the same thing when we're going and going to sporting arenas, right? And so when you look at the ballot, okay, that's another word. Look in the etymology of what the ballot is. Okay, so you're
Mm-hmm.
signing yourself up and then you're putting your signature and you're agreeing to whatever this system has set in place for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you go into a booth, which is like the field, okay, or your little tesseract, right? It's a cube,
Mm-hmm.
okay, because that's what you have to understand is it has to be a cube. The paper has to be a cube. You have to put the boxes are cubed or circular. You're not going to see one in a triangle because these are geometrical images and they all mean something.
Right.
So now that you've casted your vote and now that you've placed your energy into the race,
Okay.
you have now participated in this mass ritual for whatever it is that they have going on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So while you think, oh, this is, electing this, we just seen it in the last election that the popular vote doesn't fucking matter. Rather, it doesn't
And
matter.
that was blatantly done.
And that was blatantly done, and it was blatantly done before with Bush and Gore. So we're seeing this constantly play out over and over and over and over
Because you
again.
remember Bush had actually conceded
Mm-hmm.
that year. I remember that.
Facts. And with that, what I'm saying is, if you're not jumping off of the third, the third, the 3 and 4D, okay, because that is very much why we're going into the 5G or the fifth dimensional
I was just about
realm.
to say, let them know what you mean when you say three and
Right.
four.
We're if you're stuck in the 3G or the 4G, which is it's the three and the fourth dimension, right? And only things that are visible can be seen within the second and third dimension because it's cast within its visible light. You can't see outside of visible light with your two carnal or flesh
Eyes.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so most people are transitioning
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot catch the shift from the third and the fourth dimension into the 5D or into that five dimensional being, because once you go into 5D there's no coming back. You're not going to go back into that third level of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
consciousness or just being a tripod being. So that's what the whole 3D is: mind, body, and soul. I
Okay,
recognize
now,
myself as mind, body, and soul,
okay,
right?
now with that right there, I just want to throw something in there really quickly from the psychological side,
Mm-hmm.
because you how you was just explaining the 3D, the 4D, and then the fifth D.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody who really wants to understand what she's talking about, like she teaches this as a class, so it's
I
just a
do.
this amount of information that she's giving you. So it's really vast. So what I suggest is, if you really want to learn more about what she's talking about with the three, four, and five, so that you can understand it once you get to researching the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, so that you can understand it, I absolutely implore you to go and research Richard Maslow and the hierarchy of needs.
Mm.
Research that. It's 5 levels,
Mm-hmm.
5 steps.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get to the triangle is actually like this instead of like this.
Facts.
So once you get to the top of that triangle, you are self actualized. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
So just going, I implore you, just that simple Google search will give you a book, and go and find that book. Don't listen to Google. Just use Google for where to find the information.
Facts. Facts.
Don't fall into the wormholes of Google. Oh, this, because a lot of the time it's not true. Because
Mm.
Google can be altered by humans.
Facts.
So go find the information on Richard Maslow. If you have to, go and get a free book app or anything and read a book about the hierarchy of needs. And then once you get an understanding of that, then go and do your research on the third, fourth, and fifth dimension,
Facts.
and why it is that you won't understand the first, the second,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have been through the third and
And
trying to get to the fourth. It's
trying to get to the
confusing.
fourth.
That's why I say it's a
And
lot. But I just
it
wanted
is,
to
and
throw
it's
that in there so that they can understand it if
right.
they decided to go and research it.
And to put it kind of like in a quick mode, is the 3D is the material world.
Right.
It is the world of manifestation. It is your wildest dreams and your greatest fears. And so once you have mastered the material world, then you get to the point where you begin to want to master the spiritual world or the spiritual realm, or we get into more occultic or hidden knowledge, which is where the 4D, 5D, and 6D are. Okay, and it goes further to 7,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. And so with that being said, I like as my wife said, I do classes. It'll this will be my third year that I'll be doing them. I am starting them back up, and I only take serious students. Right now it looks like I have actually like about 4 or 5. We'll see, because it's leveling up, and a lot of not a lot, but people do tend to drop off because the knowledge is very expansive. And I always say, you know, put your hands in the form of a circle, right? And right now, this is my level of understanding. And I need to open that up, and I need to branch off and be able to be open minded to more things. And the more you're open minded, you still have to be aware, because you have a lot of people that are activating crystals or activating doing certain things when certain portals are open. You have a lot of people that performed a lot of rituals yesterday. And I seen some people that were doing rituals that should not have been done on a full moon. It was, people were doing
And not just a full
manifestations,
moon,
and
but
it was a hunter moon.
which is a blue moon.
Right. And so,
For those who want to do the
right, for those specific things, that is definitely to get rid of, or to go into a new portion of yourself, and to let old things die off and to become a new. And so it's at the new moon when you manifest, and when you go into wanting to pull in things to you. So I'm always like people see things and they hear things and they see Hollywood and they see these movies and they see in these movies these so-called witches that are doing full moon spells and they're doing this that and the third, but just like the werewolf transforms at the full moon. So you have to think what transformation is taking place for you. Is it your true self that's going to come out, or is it the elusive self that's being projected? And I think that we're going to see a lot of people begin to go in different directions because they're not expanding past social media for their information. It says no separation of church and state. It says no separation of, there should be a separation of politics and religion, but there's truly no separation because they're systems. And once people get so caught up in these systems and become again indoctrinated into that, it's you really think that Trump has everything to do with what's fucked up in America, and it's not. You know what I mean? If you really honestly, consciously, sanely think that one man has the power to rule what's considered the free world or one of the top countries in this earth, you're fucking bananas. I'm sorry, and
There's a plethora of things. Not everybody has their opinion on Trump. Everybody has their opinion on Biden. Some people is like, for just for instance, for example, because my views ain't.
you'll
I'm
never know
not,
my views because I'm a
because
clown
I was
both.
finna say ain't none of y'all business, but you know what I'm saying. My views really don't. I don't put my views out there like that because what I believe, what you believe, everybody has the right to believe what they want
Because that's what belief is.
because
Faith.
that's what it is. It's your type of faith.
Facts. And I can't
So,
shake your faith.
and I can't shake yours. I can only rely on mine, whatever I've got faith in. So, but for example, so many people for Biden are saying, well, oh, people can change, people can this. He didn't mean for this to happen. Just you flapping your gums trying to defend a man who historically has not had a good relationship with black people. And
Period.
that's just facts.
Facts.
Yes, he may have changed over the years. Yes, he may have wished or regretted a decision because, oh, damn, that was fucked. I didn't know that was going to go like that. You know what I'm saying? We all have done this. And then 20 years later, how would you feel if somebody that you knew in high school when you was on your shenanigans come to you when you 43 years old, me, and they come to you talking about, oh, this ain't the person I know. You damn right this ain't the person you know because you don't know this person. You
Mm-hmm.
know that person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then with Trump, yeah, like I said, with Biden, y'all want to say he could have changed, but with Trump, y'all using all his past transgressions
He can't change.
against him. He can't
He's,
change.
he's still the same person.
I don't now personally. I don't like the man. I think he's a rude asshole. However, you can't be biased towards one and then not use that same logic
For
with
the
the
other.
other one.
Facts.
That's where the unfair lies.
Well,
It
that's
lies
where we
right
get into
there.
the pot and the kettle conversation.
Hmm.
And it's again becoming to the lesser of two evils. Okay, yeah, we know that this person has done this, and yeah, we know that this person has done that, and yeah, we know this. And it seems that I have made a statement that it was very weird to me
Hmm.
how over the past, I guess I'll say, for the past 4 elections that have taken place, people are becoming much more open about who they vote for, who
Hmm.
they support as a candidate. And there was a time where that was not, it
It
wasn't,
wasn't
it's like, what,
readily or heavily discussed.
no. And if you were a part of certain groups or certain clubs that discuss certain things, you would discuss those candidates or those legislative bodies as a whole and be able to speak on them without it becoming a whole shit show,
Right.
right?
I'm right. You're wrong.
I'm
You're
right, you're
wrong.
wrong, and
Yeah.
all of these things. And so I saw a commercial that came on not too long ago that they're about to start showing nationally if people have voted or not. Not who you voted for, but if you voted. And then your family can come and say, oh, why didn't you do this? And I was shocked because when did we get to the point that it became public information whether I voted or not when I have to pay $150 to get a background check to find out if somebody has felonies or misdemeanors? What sense, like, you have to realize how many of your rights are just being taken from you in front of your eyes. And so at this point we're in an epidemic because it's, whatever. um we're in a pandemic, we're in an election year, we have, it's so many things compiled on top of each other.
But
It's so
every
much.
election year, something happens. I just
It's
wanted to throw that out
it
there.
is every election year, but this, like,
This
this the
one is,
one.
yeah, this the one. Cause
and
everybody ready for 2020
and
to
because
scoot boot on out.
you're seeing again history and historicities repeat itself once
Mhm.
again. And so people think that the economy is not falling yet. You're not going to really see the fall of the economy until it's about to go to with the green plan, because they're already building underground tunnels. They're already placing these Neuralink chips inside of people and inside of pets and shit. But because you're too busy looking at the distractions,
Mhm.
you're too busy not hearing the plot in the point. When I watched the debate, I listened to that. I was like, oh yeah, we'll be totally green by 2035. And then I just so happened to catch Elon Musk talking about how the whole world will be this by total electric, and there won't be any gas and da 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 by 2035. So you have to understand that corporation and government are not separate. And it's a total plan. It's not one without the other. Whether it's Democrat, whether it's Republican, all of them have the same goal in mind. You just want a motherfucker that can talk better. You just
Mhm.
want somebody that's not openly racist. You
Mhm.
want somebody that's not going to say, well, I don't give a damn how he feels. And so, because there's not been a person in office that has ever come like this and been like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, but he's not distinguished, and he just doesn't have this, and he doesn't have that. It's
He's very uncouth, but he don't
but
care.
and he know and it doesn't care. And so my thing is, the person that you said has the couth and the ability lost their cool. When you get to the point of you being a candidate and you telling somebody to shut up, that's not adult like. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's still choosing, oh well, I can deal with this rather than this, because this person gets on my nerves, because this person, because when you truly ask a person, and I've asked multiple people, why don't you like Trump? And it's the same, oh, he's racist, he's da, da, da. Okay, how do you know he's racist? Oh, because he was okay, so you saw him something from his past. Oh, when he said stand by and stand, that just happened. Oh, and so it's always a current urgency. If it First of all, he not gonna be with the Crips and the Bloods. You feel me? No, no, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. In Barack's, think about it, because people don't pay attention to shit, bruh. During Barack's term in office, remember the Crips and the Bloods, they came together. They made a pact to, we're gonna put all this fighting and shit aside, right?
Mhm.
And you had Snoop Dogg in the game or somebody, whatever, the little Blood and Crip came
Mhm.
together and they was putting their shit to the side. This is LA with the truth. This was in the Obama administration. So when black gangs come together, it's okay. So, but because he went and told the good old boys, you know what I'm saying? Look, y'all, hold on now. Stand by, stand back. Cause he nigga, they serious.
That's what he was trying to say. They like. That's
So
what he.
and I know
I'm
I'm
just like,
making a joke of
I'm.
it, but it's
We
still the
joking.
thing of sometimes you have to look at things in a different perspective, and sometimes you have to hear it and be given a clue that this is what they do. A black president is going to unite these specific gangs. So if it was the Hells Angels and you know what I'm saying, somebody else, would it have attracted the same? Now we got a whole new group, Antifa. Where they come from?
Mother, listen.
And so it's like,
Cause when they was like the whole Antifa ordeal, I'm like, what? We got a new set of folk to worry
yeah, and then you got Quanon or whatever, and all of these.
about?
So
Mm-hmm.
you have all of these different, again, distractions
And factions.
and factions that are taking place on a global level. And right now, everybody is participating in the mass ritual of the crown virus or the crown virtue, right? Everybody is experiencing the crowning ceremony. And either you with the shit or you not. And that may not make sense to some, but for some that understand, you understand. You know what I'm saying? Period. So with that being said, I think I can go on and on and on. And
And on
I'm
and
going to
on
be going
about
on
this.
and on and on and on and on in this competition.
Okay, well, we're gonna stop that part, okay? But anyway, so going back to the one thing that I wanted to add as far as the spirituality goes
Mm-hmm.
is because so many people are bandwagoners.
Right.
And because something is popular, then they want to be that too.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were speaking and you were talking about uh, Oshun and Oya and things of that nature, and the different levels of spirituality, the different factions of spirituality, Yoruba, did I
Mm-hmm.
say it right? Okay, all of that. So the thing is, when you just go and spew out somebody's else information, you never really truly know how much of that information they made up
Mm-hmm.
until you actually go and do the research yourself.
Facts.
So a lot of people, and I'm only speaking on this portion because you said it and it brought it back to my mind. I see a lot of people address Oshun and don't have like anything to say about Oya. Here's the thing. Y'all need to go research why you should.
Mm.
Go research why you should,
Yeah.
and then you'll understand the psychological aspect of it because there's a psychological person that they have in common, and I'm gonna just leave it
There.
there.
All right. But I just implore any and all to do your own work. Do your own work. It is beautiful to have mentors. It's beautiful to have people that are on their journey. Um, if you really feel attracted to herbs and crystals and thing and because that's something in itself. If you're really attracted to that, get with a person that's an herbologist that is actually certified, and that can teach you. And it now, even if they're not certified, at least somebody that has years of experience, right? Because we need to make sure that our elders are passing down this knowledge. If you're truly into tarot, then you need to have a teacher that understands astrology, understands numerology, and understands those systems. Okay, because period. They period. They need to understand the major arcana. They need to understand the minor arcana, why they exist. So on as I'm not gonna go into because I've studied it, been there, done that. But get a teacher that actually knows these things and have shown proof to put you on the level. It's not for you to start doing $25 readings and it becomes a hustle. It's not about a hustle. If you out here hustling spirituality, then you hustling backwards because you're no different from the pimp in the pulpit. You're no different. You're no different if I come up to your business and you're selling crystals and you can't sit and tell me, well, this is for this and this is for that and what issue. Well, let's do a consultation first. But I
Mm-hmm.
can just come and pick up all types of shit and then the next person can come and touch the same things that I've touched because you don't understand that crystals and jewels and certain metals are conduits
Energy.
and they hold on to things. So you're walking into all these esoteric shops and these metaphysical shops, and you ain't covered yourself and don't know their name of the first person to make sure that they come and support you. Nobody's growing their own sage. Nobody is going and panning for their own crystals. If you gonna pay to do that. If you gonna, you know what I'm saying? But it's become pandering. It's
Mm-hmm.
become pandering to say grand rising. It's become pandering to say black girl magic and melanin and being woke and all of this. It's pandering now.
And just this, you know how fast, because realistically, we met 1 year ago.
Facts.
You were the only person I knew that said Grand Rising. Today, a whole year later,
Well, I'm not.
everybody and their mama is
It's it's
on
it's
some.
it's been it's actually been that for quite some time, and it's not until you kind of go into what's considered there's different levels of the conscious community. You have your LGBT woke conscious community. You have your pro black straight conscious community. Again, more factions, more
Factions, yeah.
divisions, more this, more that. We'll take the support, but we still don't think that you ain't black because you light skin black. So still factions,
Uh-huh.
still separation and things of that nature. And so with that, I've heard Grand Rising for over shit 15 years, because it's a thing of saying that why would you say that you're mourning good? And I understood that and I felt that on a deep level, right? Just like me saying understanding. I understand something rather than me standing under something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing with it so that I'm in the fullness of what that information is,
Right,
right?
and what it means to you.
And what it means to me. And so I've slowed down on saying supreme frequency because a lot of people don't understand that. It's on a different level. And so I try to give as much information as I can. I'm not the type on that's gonna constantly do Facebook posts because people aren't gonna read them. I've done multiple things where it's like when I post goofy shit, when I post, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
shit that's just like whatever, I'll get 30 something fucking likes. But when I post something that's about mental health and evaluating yourself and spiritual growth and really and things that's gonna make you think and realign yourself, 6, 7, 8. And so it just goes into you're not feeding the culture that I want. I want you to feed me the culture of hey queen, hey this, hey that,
Mm-hmm.
but not one of them have looked up the etymology of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be a goddess but don't know what it takes to be a goddess. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself and submit yourself? Because a goddess is about sacrifice of your
Uh-huh.
life.
That part when you've experienced it. But okay.
Right. Are you really ready to have that divide and be reborn within a different programming and then unprogram yourself and restructure your DNA?
Mm-hmm.
But people think
We
they
ain't
just
ready
drink
for
a
that
little
part yet.
water.
That's class
Yeah,
information. So
that's
we're gonna
class
leave that.
information.
We're gonna leave
But
that alone.
I've enjoyed, talking about it. We can definitely do a part two. I try not to go past 2 hours. Maybe we should start doing them a little longer. I don't know. Maybe you guys give us some feedback.
Yeah.
If we should start doing it longer than an hour, because we can definitely do a part two of this conversation, because I think it's very chunk, it's meaty, and you
Very
can't
meaty.
really go into talking about um how politics and spirituality work hand in hand, how you're about to see one of the greatest mass rituals take place, how you've been seeing that, over this past year. And so I implore everybody, as I say every time, go within and stay there, have a seat,
Get comfortable.
get comfortable, and strap in, and then propel up, ascend,
Right.
because you are the spaceship. Ain't no spaceships, ain't no mothership coming to save you. So your ass is gonna get left.
Facts. And one thing that I want to leave everyone with, I saw a video earlier today, and it was very simple. It was posted in a group that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
and the chick, she was like, I've been going through my mental health healing and mental healing, and she was just like, this is the hardest thing. I've never been through so many emotions. I've never felt. And let me tell y'all, when you know you're ready, be prepared,
Mm.
is what I can say. Be prepared for a wealth of different emotions.
Mm-hmm. It's a death. You
Um,
have to be ready for the death of your
and it's
old
gonna
self.
hurt
Yes.
because you gotta let yourself go.
Yes.
It's gonna hurt so bad. And let me tell you, when I went through this, it took me a year just to get to the point where I could say, okay, I'm ready. Because I need this space to be clear. When you feel your energy collapsing in on you,
Mm-hmm.
it took me a year to get to that point. And once I actually got, you just be
Actually,
doing that because I lost all this
when you
weight and
got
stuff.
what, go ahead.
But when I got to a point where I was ready to let go,
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't know how freeing that is. I'm telling you, if not me, I will find somebody for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got mental angst, mental anxiety, and you need to get back to self, I'll help you get there.
Right.
I've been through it. I've helped other people through it. Now, once I do have to say this, once I get to a point where it's you're needing therapy, I will refer you to a therapist. But to get your self care, your mental self care on, find somebody, if not me, to do that because then you'll see a lot of stuff that I can let go will free up room for all this stuff that can't seem to hold on to that I want.
Right. And real talk, a lot of people will come and ask Shane, be like, well, what did you do? How did you do this? And I'd be like, she let go of dead weight. When you're holding on to dead situations, when you're holding on to things that no longer serve you or aren't making you happy,
Mm-hmm.
you have to walk away. It may seem like I don't know what but this is it doesn't da 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 da. So it's literally, whether it's your faith, whether it's spirit, whether you say spirit, God, the Holy Ghost, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's literally you, about you stepping out of the situation that's so comfortable to you. It's like those warm pair of jeans. You know you need to throw them away.
Mm-hmm.
You know they no longer serve
They
you,
just feel so
but
good to
because
you.
it's a comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become so comfortable in sitting in your shit, it don't stink no more.
Mm-hmm.
And so you wonder how a hoarder can sit in shit for so long, because they don't smell it. And when you've been sitting in your own roost and your own negativity and your own toxicity, all you see is the toxic outside of you and not inside of you,
Mm-hmm.
because you've become diseased. And now that you've become diseased, everything around you causes you to have reactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And symptoms of sickness. Mm. So
Disease. That's
yes, it
where
was
disease
changing.
come from.
Right. It's changing how you eat. It's changing how you think. It's changing
How you
how
speak.
you speak, how you evaluate situations because every single thing is mind over matter. Every single thing. There's not one thing that's not mind over matter. If you don't think it can happen, guess what?
It won't.
It won't. If you don't know that it can happen, it won't. Whether you think it will or you think it won't, you're right. That was one of the best quotes I ever heard in high school.
Yeah.
You know, so I implore and I always tell people, and I know my sister isn't gonna get upset with me saying this. She's finally got on her journey of her mental health awareness and taking like full charge of that. It's we can talk to people all day, but talking to someone that understands the different realms within the mind,
Mm-hmm.
it helps you greatly. We can be out at the club. It happened. We was out at the club. You hear me? At the club. And different people coming up telling us their journey and their story and their situations and things like that. When you're naturally a light being, other people that need healing are going to gravitate to you because they notice you're healed, because they know that you've moved into a different direction. You at this, Smith, that y'all my favorite couple did it. And it's not about me and Shane, it's about me being able to stand on my own individually and Shane being able to stand on her own individually, and together we're a movement. You can't see an atom move at the basic level. It has to form a compound. So unless you become a compound with another damn element or some shit, I think I'm getting it wrong, but y'all know what I'm trying to goddamn say. Shit. Build some bonds, but those bonds that you have to break old bonds to
Mm-hmm.
build new ones. You have to burn old bridges. You have to burn old ways. You have to burn old thinking. And unless you truly do that, people can tell. You can talk about it all day, but it's the way that you're living your life and the way your life shines that shows whether that's the truth or
Yeah.
not.
Because here's the thing, guys,
But see,
and
people looking for you to have they think if you're saying that you're manifesting in your life that you're supposed to be driving Benzes and having fat ass cribs,
no,
and that's the problem
that's the
because
problem.
it's you're still looking for materialistic manifestation, and
Right.
you'll never reach the 5D.
No. Here's the thing. Um, when I started my journey, I had just started that journey right around the time I met her. And that's my main reason for telling people get to know the person that you meet. Don't go off into, oh, I really like them. I really care for them. I want to do this and just giving everybody your all.
Mm.
Don't do that. You have to get to know the person, get to know their aura, get to know their energy so you can get to understand, understand, overstand if this person needs to be in your life. Because when I met her, I was going through, well, coming out of my dark moment. I was coming out of it. And I was on my, okay, let me get my stuff together. I'm doing too much. Let me, start clearing out space because it's time for me to get back to me because I had spent so much of my time being somebody who I had created. And as before we were just friends and she said, "You know what? I see a different you than the you that you see." And I ain't understand that. And she told me, she was like, it's like I see a woman trapped in a young woman's body. And I ain't get that. I was like, wait, what? How? Because I'm not young. This is not a young woman's body. I've had this body for, 40 years. So I don't know where you're coming from. But I recently saw what she was trying to tell me. Same night when we
Mm-hmm.
went to this club, and I was telling this one chick was like, "Oh, I'm old, honey," and I was like, "Oh, what's old?" And she was like, trying not to say. I'm like, "Go ahead and what's old?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm 33." I was like, "Babe, I got you about 10 years." Whole conversation stopped. Everybody was like, "You not? No, 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 you don't. Just quit playing." The thing is, what I didn't see the inside beauty of me.
Mm-hmm.
All I saw was what everyone else saw.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good enough for me at a certain time, at a certain point in my life. That was good enough for me because I saw what everyone else saw and I
Right.
relished in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see my true self for myself.
Right.
And once I saw that, I was like, yo, okay, so this is what she was talking about. And once I got from the person I was to the person that I am now and was able to say, you know what, this don't suit me no more. I let it go and then look back because so many people be like, oh well, you let something go and then it's so hard and you try to go back to it. No, when
You done.
you done.
Mm-hmm.
I let a lot of stuff go. And
Mm-hmm.
when I started letting things go and I really was serious, like, you know what, this ain't finna bother me no more. I started losing weight. I didn't go on a diet. I did not go on a diet. I do nothing different. I just eat different. I didn't eat meat anyway, like beef or pork anyway, but it took someone else coming in and say, oh, well, you could cook it like this, or you can eat it like that, or you can eat it like that, and taking those small suggestions and adding them into my cooking regimen, how I cook, how I eat. I still eat my junk, but for the most part, I changed my eating habits when I let everything go. I changed the way that I think when I let everything go because I started thinking, well, why think negative all the time? Why not just be positive? And I consider myself a pretty positive person until I met a person who was more positive than me.
And you have to be when you know that you've gotten to your space of healing, and I'm talking to those individuals that are dealing with people that are currently coming into the end of their tunnel. and
Mm-hmm.
and I know y'all understand that when I say that that person is coming to the end of that tunnel. You have to have a level of accountability to come and say, I see you, I hear you, and be able to help them shift back onto the right track. It's been a time where when she was at her old place of employment, she was very upset. She called me very upset, and I'm not going to have those type of conversations on the phone. So I was like, come outside, get all of it out while you're out here. Because don't take that in there. Give it to me because I can deal with it. And if you can't give it to me, you shouldn't be willing to give it to somebody else. And so while she was still like in her bag for a little second, after a while she hit me and she was like, I
I
see
needed
why you
that.
did that. I needed that. And so yes, you're going to have if you're in a condition or a situation, whether it be a job or a relationship, and it's time for you to move forward,
Family included.
family included, it's about taking that step to say, I'm worth it. Period.
I'm worth it,
I'm
right?
worth it. And because
Speak
a lot
healing
of
to
people
yourself first.
are getting to that point and they're seeing positive posts and they're seeing people talk about this and my quartz crystals and my da 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 and my woo woo woo. And so, they go and they'll look at this in a very small form, and now you're getting caught into another rabbit hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have people that hadn't had a political bone in their body that are now on this political shift. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I say you have to see in all avenues, even in politics, There are rituals taking place. And when you're a part of the party, you're a part of that particular faction that's performing that specific ritual. And they're all on the same team. It's just made to look like it's separated, right? They all know each other. How can one have so much information about the other and the other have so much information? And it's like, but damn, they don't kick it because they're still a part of the same faction.
Mm-hmm.
They're still a part of the same groups. They're still a part of the same scene. So it's gonna be the same thing in different arenas. There's still a oh well she reads cards. I'm a teacher. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hang amongst other. I don't know too many teachers. I know a couple. I know a couple. And I am overwhelmed because I love hearing what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it's some folks on that shouldn't be doing it. But that's not my place to say it because that's where I am and that's where those people are. So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, we're gonna close it out for the night.
We're gonna close it out
Y'all
for
bow
the
your head and
night.
close your. No, I'm just playing. For the benediction. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in. If you didn't get a chance to catch the fullness of the show once we end the live, please go back. Tell us what you think. Leave some comments. We always go back and check it. How could we make it better? Cause I be seeing y'all lurking, but y'all don't be commenting. We be getting
Y'all don't
like
be saying
all
that.
these views, but y'all don't be saying nothing. So I don't know. I don't know. Is we hitting or should we just stop? Right? Give it shit. All right, shout out to everybody that's on that kick. Shout out to everybody making moves, like the Underground Railroad. Keep doing your thing. All of our non-paid sponsors, we love y'all. Continue to do your thing. Black Ego, Ray's Catering, Unique Waterfall, author, excuse me, Unique Waterfall, myself, Goddess Child, On Blast Radio, Javanda's Kitchen. One day my wife gonna do these
I've done
instead
them
of me
before.
because I
I've
be
done
trying
them
to
before,
remember.
babe. You forgot.
We love y'all.
Ooh, she
Love and
forgot.
light, wholeness and balance. Come and check us for part 2 next week.
Next week, same time.
Same time,
Well,
same place.
not same time.
Well,
'Cause
yeah, we'll be on time better. We'll be on time better.
we
But
might have
I
to
had to
extend
eat.
it. Y'all just let us know if
Yeah,
y'all want us to
yeah, we can do that.
extend how long we do the show. I mean, because these are like our regular conversations. So
Pretty much.
we be at it for 4 5 hours. Like, but think about this. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, we will be back next week, part 2 to spirituality versus religion, and we hope that y'all come back with us next week to continue the conversation.
We see y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
How you turn this thing off? I don't know. You forgot that part.
You said my line, man.
You right.